Greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Michael. It is Tuesday, March 3rd, and this is Strada Live. And as you might expect, we have been super hard at work and we've got new features and new updates. So we love it when you tune into these, whether it's live or you come and check them out afterwards. We love to get feedback and your comments, and we love to make sure that we're building the product in the right direction. So I'm always available. I always make my email available. If you need to reach out, if you need a demo, if you need onboarding, if you need support, if you have a question, if you have a feature or something needs to get to me, there I am. And it's really important to me that I'm available and that people can find me and that I can help with support or needs or feature requests or onboarding or what have you. So we're always available to do that. We've also got my brother Peter and Margot on the call. And so I can take your questions live, and I'm going to get right into a demo right away because I want to show you 3 things that happened. But what's really cool is the amount of people using Strada today is totally growing. Like, we have some serious Strada gains. I just want to show you how much activity we're having in just the last week. Just last week, over 30,000 files were transferred. Now think about that. That's 30,000 files that had to be transferred for some project, except they would have been transferred either on hard drives in the mail or through a cloud. But with Strada, that's 30,000 files being transferred that were not using cloud. So there was no cloud cost, there was no transferring, and there was no hard drive shipping. In the total terabytes, it was over 17 terabytes. Our users, you transferred 17 terabytes of footage without the cloud. Think about that. It's starting to really, really get huge. I think we're way over 300 terabytes. We're on our way to half a petabyte of total transfers in total. In a week like last week, 17 terabytes of transfers without any cloud. It makes me so excited. I'm so pumped that you guys are doing it and you're moving tens of thousands of assets. We're on our way to 1 million assets transferred completely peer-to-peer. We were talking to a user a couple days ago and he says, you guys are revolutionizing peer-to-peer for video professionals. That's exactly what we're doing. It is really a different tech stack. It's a real different technology approach, and it's working. So we are excited, and thanks to all of our users who have helped us achieve those gains. But we want you to try it too. Get off the cloud. I mean, if you're using the cloud, like, why? There is now finally an alternative. Like, that's good news. This is exciting that you can actually move assets, view them, and transfer them without having to upload them. Like, it's great. Like, what are you waiting for? Go for it. So that's exciting. But I want to show you 3 new features right now that we're really excited about. So the first one is invite to folder. This was a great thing. See, I want to show you what happened here. I'm going to go to my Strada account, and this is what would happen. Someone would click on a folder, and let's say they wanted to share just this directory of social media. What they would do is select this folder and hit invite. But look what happens. It says invite to test footage. What that means is it's inviting to this directory, everything here. It's inviting to this directory right there. If I click invite here, it does that. Even if I click the social folder. Originally, how to use Strada is you would click inside, hit invite, and now I'm inviting to socials. So what a user made us think about is I can click on socials and just say invite to folder. When I do that, it brings me right to the socials folder. So that way, if your brain thinks I should select a folder and invite to it, that now works. Or if you want to double click into the folder, you can always invite directly. So it might be a small update, but this is the type of stuff users give us feedback, and we want to eliminate confusion. We want it to be fluid, and we're getting great feedback from users that this is easy, it's intuitive, it's clean, it's simple. Other products have gotten more complicated, they're messier, and they're harder. We are really trying hard to make this easy, simple, clean, and fast to learn. And that's one of the examples. So this was great feedback from a user, and now you've got invite to folder. It's in the context menu. If I right click, I could transfer this folder instantly and choose a destination, or I could invite to that. So it's really cool, little context menu. So very, very powerful. Okay, so the next one also might seem a little small, but it's really cool. We had a user, this is for you, Sarah. We had a user named Sarah who said, my producer wants to use is using Strada, but wants the file names. and can't get them. So we have just done that. If I needed this file name, I can hit copy file name. And now if I hit paste, there's the file name right there. So I'm able to copy a file name. If I click here, it says number 7. I hit paste, number 7. So now you can copy clip names or file names in just a quick way. So if it's a real fast need and it's real simple, you're like, I just need this file so I can paste it into an email or a message or something like that. We've now got that. So that was an update that we just published that Sarah asked for because her producers were using Strada to find assets, but then they had to type out the assets. So that's good. And that gave me an idea just to think about. These URLs at the top are copy pastable. So if you invite someone to a drive, you can just take this URL, copy it, and paste it. And if that person has the invitation, they have the security invite to join that drive, it will just pop up in Chrome. So I could just go to a Chrome window, hit paste, and if I logged in, it'll take me, well, I haven't done that. So let me just do that. And if I log in, it'll take me right to that directory. So that you can paste URLs if someone's been given access to a folder or a drive. So that's simple, but it's something someone didn't realize we could do. So sometimes you can invite people and then you have all these different folders. You're like, which one is it? You could just go into the folder, copy this, and if I had a new paste, it would bring me right to that folder. So that's an important thing to make things fast. Okay, so those were small. I admit those are small, but we've got our invite to folder. We've got our copy clip name, but this third one is huge. This is huge. And I want to do a huge shout out to our head of engineering, Austin Case. He worked so hard on this. And I want to give a huge shout out to Pallavi and Kira. Pallavi did the front end work and Kira did the design. So Kira, Pallavi, and Austin did an amazing job. And what we have now is we just released License Manager. This just came out 2 days ago, and it is awesome. License Manager is so cool. For the first time ever, you can now buy licenses on behalf of other people. So if you have a team, you can put in your credit card and you can buy other licenses. You can buy it for clients, you can buy it for colleagues, you can buy it for different departments. And best of all, you can transfer those licenses at will, which means if you invite someone and you pay for their license, if that job finishes, you can remove them and add a new person, and we don't double charge you. We're not requiring you to add a whole new person and pay again. You can transfer licenses that are already actionable, which is amazing. So this is really, really cool. Okay, we've got a couple questions coming in, but while those are typed in, I want to just show you a little bit of License Manager. So how do I get it? I go to my account, I go to subscription, and now that's it. I'm in the License Manager. So your license is listed here. So I can see my license. I have an unlimited plan. And so I've got my credit card installed there, but I can go to team licenses. So you see right here, team license. You can switch between your license and team. And when you go to team, that allows you to invite other people. So watch this. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see. I can see these two licenses and I can see what's on there. So if I wanted to add a member, watch this. I'm gonna choose Shannon. I'm gonna give her an unlimited monthly account. So let's say Shannon's a freelancer and I need to bring Shannon in for just a month or maybe even a few weeks. I can choose unlimited monthly. So I have all the options of the plans and you can mix and match any plan in the License Manager with each other. That's totally fine. So you can be very custom. I'm going to hit next. It says, who am I going to add this to? Well, I'm going to go Shannon@strada.tech and I'm going to type in her name. If I wanted to add someone else, I can do two at once, Peter@strada.tech. So they're both going to get it. It says choose license holders and I hit next. And it says there's going to be 2 unlimited monthly plans billed. So that's going to be $60 because our unlimited monthly plan is $30 a month. So I've got 2 people and I'm going to hit confirm purchase. And I've just added 2 users. There's Kira's little animation. And now I can see that I've added Shannon and Peter, and they're both now in my license options. They're in my license manager. So I can also go by and remove them. But since I bought Peter this license, if I remove him, if I hit the remove button, it'll say, are you sure you want to remove them? Their license will be canceled, but Peter's license, I could add somebody else and it would still count against the 30 days monthly plan that I subscribed. So again, licenses are transferable. You can bring people in and remove them, and you don't have to keep adding more and more people and pay for more and more. They can be transferable. In the retail plan, we can allow 10 users. You can have 10 people. You can buy 10 licenses for up to 10 people in the retail plan. If you need more than that, you go to our enterprise plan. There's no limit to how many people you can bring to enterprise plan, but enterprise plans are always unlimited users. So it's going to be unlimited, and you are able to, you have a few other benefits. You have unlimited users and you create more workspaces. Workspaces allow you to separate clients or departments from each other. Each workspace is its own cost, but you could say, I want a marketing department, and here are 10 people. I want a brand department, here are 10 people. I want a freelance department, here's 10 people. Each of those workspaces can be separated, and you can buy as many licenses as you want for those workspaces. So that's the enterprise plan. It's a little more expensive, but it gives you more control, more separation, more security. Plus, you can bring on IT or infrastructure and security people, and they won't count against your licenses. So if you need IT support, you don't have to pay for IT to have access to the account. So that's kind of nice. That's the enterprise plan. In retail, you can charge, you can buy up to 10 licenses, bring in those people, remove them. It's so easy to add members, and it's really clean and simple. So that is the license manager. This is a huge improvement, because now some of you have given us feedback. This product that we just built, License Manager, all came from you, because you said, I don't want my clients to have to buy Strada accounts. I don't feel it's right. I'm transferring to and from, and I want them to have the access, but I don't want them to have to pay for it. Well, we listened to you, we heard your concerns, and we fixed it. So now you can buy your clients a license. And here's the best part. If you have 5 clients, but you're only working with 2 of them at the same time, you might only need 3 licenses, you and 2 clients, and then you can switch those other 2 clients when you need them, and you can change them out. So that's so cool that you don't need to have 5 licenses permanently pushed to clients. In fact, when you unlicense someone, if I were to remove Peter from this, by removing him, it is possible that Pete moves down to a free plan. So he still has access to Strada. He can still see what he was invited to. He just doesn't have the value of some of the paid upgrades, such as additional security permissions and how his transfers are limited. So you can control the license manager, but users still have access to the drives you invited them to. So just by removing Peter doesn't mean he can't see things anymore. If I didn't want him to see things, I would go into the actual product and I would find Peter where his permissions are. I think he's in here somewhere. It's going to be in here. There he is. And I could remove him from here. So if I wanted to remove Peter from here, that's how I would remove Peter from a drive. But removing him from my license manager is just if I'm paying for him. He can still have a free plan or buy his own license. So those are really cool things. Okay, Rec 2020 Colorist on Instagram. What a great name, Rec 2020. So with Strada, we can turn any hard drive into a NAS. Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. You're essentially turning any hard drive into a NAS because you're making it accessible anywhere in the world. You can view it, you can browse it, and you can transfer it. And we're starting to get towards being able to edit it. So it's more than a NAS. You're not, Rec 2020, you're not just turning any hard drive into a NAS, you're also turning it into a cloud, which is better than a NAS. Because a cloud is remotely accessible on your phone with other users, and it's more than just a NAS. Plus, we have some improvements over cloud because we can play back files that cloud can't even play back. Like, that's what's so cool about peer-to-peer. Strada is able to play back files like ProRes 4K XQ without being able, where a cloud couldn't. So look at these files right here. I'll make these big. I hope you're watching this, Rec 2020. These are files on a drive in Colorado. My mother lives in Colorado. She's an unknowing participant in all our demos. This is her computer. It's a Mac Mini. It's $500. My brother bought it at Best Buy. These files are huge. 27 gigs, 29 gigs, 36 gigs. Look at this. If I slide this over, this should, if you know what you're doing here, this should be crazy. I'm playing back a ProRes 4K XQ file. This is ProRes 4K XQ, and look at the bandwidth, 3.5 megabits per second. This file is more like it's more like 1,500 megabits per second, but I'm playing it back at 4.5, 3, 2, 1,800, 2. See, this is 2 to 4 megabits per second. We're playing that back, even though these files are 1,500. That's part of the beauty of Strada. That's the power of Strada. And so these files are way too big to upload to a cloud. A 29 gigabyte file that's only a minute or two long, like, who wants to upload that to a cloud? No one. But Strada is able to do that because we're not uploading it. It's sitting on a drive in Colorado, and I'm able to stream that file in 4K, and we're only looking at 2 megabits per second, right? Maybe up to 4 megabits. So this would work on your phone. In fact, I can do that. I know this won't probably be in, well, it might be in focus. It'll be small, Shannon. But if I go to the exact same directory on my phone, I'll go to, actually, Margot, I'll record this for you just in case you want it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm looking at my phone here. I know that's too small for Instagram, but I'm going to my desktop. I'm going to test footage. I'm going to the ProRes files, and here are the exact same ProRes clips on my phone that are actually on this drive here. So if I go to that 36 gigabyte file, it'll request the player, and as soon as it's good to go, I can start playing it back. And so now I'm playing back the same file on my phone, which is probably too bright. There we go. I'm playing back the same file on my phone that I'm playing back here, and it's a ProRes 4K file. Like that, do you get this? Like there isn't a technology out there in the world that can do this. People are constantly seeing us do this stuff, and they go, oh, I think I've seen that before. Where? Show me. You can't do this. This is really crazy. ProRes 4K on a phone, playing back, on a laptop, playing back with 3 megabits of bandwidth. I don't need to have gigabit bandwidth. My mother, she doesn't have 2 gigabits per second of bandwidth, and she doesn't need it. You can see the bandwidth right there. So that's what's cool. Also, one of my favorite things about the phone, I can swipe to the next take, next take, next take. So you can just swipe between these. And in Strada, I can go next take, next take, next take. I'm doing this off a Mac Mini that's 2,000 miles away. That's really what's going on. So yes, Rec 2020 colorist, you can turn any hard drive into a NAS. And the world is a really big place. And so it's really important that you understand we are trying new things here, and we want you to try it. You could try it for free for 7 days. And if you need more time, send us a request, and we'll probably give you more time to try it if you need to. So Doug Dobbins on YouTube says, License Manager is a game changer for those of us who do event sports and news. No longer being the freelancer or asking the freelancer to pick up a license is great. And I'll tell you what, Doug, if you come back next week, if you're doing freelance sports news in the field, we have a feature coming out next week that could be a total game changer. I'm so excited. I'm sorry for the tease, but we are building right on the other side of this wall a brand new feature where you can upload from the field as a freelancer through a device like this directly onto a drive like this anywhere in the world. This is going to be a peer-to-peer uploader from a device like this, and the user doesn't even need a license. It's amazing. So for small transfers, we're going to show you something that'll blow your mind next week. For big transfers, License Manager is what you want, and you got the idea. You sign up for License Manager, you buy a license for a user, they only need it for a day or two, and you can transfer that license. You could give the same license in License Manager to 30 different people one day of the month, and it would cost you $30. You could just bring one in, finish that job, cancel them, add the next person. And if you did that for 30 days straight, that would be $30, and you could just transfer that license. So it's really, really cool. So I'm glad, Doug, you're able to understand that. We're really excited to have you, and stay tuned next week when you see it. Okay. Wilfred on YouTube says, does Strada play Black Magic Raw? Oh, Wilfred. Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna show it to you. I was gonna save this for next week, but I have to change something here. So I can show you a beta here, Wilfred. So let me just turn this off. I'm gonna quit this. So I got that done. I gotta go to the agent beta. So check this out. I'm opening up a beta here, Wilfred. And so the beta is important. Okay, here we go. So I've opened up a beta on another computer. So now I'm back on mine. That was a remote. Okay, so Wilfred asks, does Strada play Black Magic Raw? Well, in beta right now, I have something brand new to show you. So let's just let that computer come back online, because I just took it offline. So that's a remote M4 Mac Studio. This is my laptop. This is an M3. My remote M4, I was running Strada, but now I'm adding in the beta so I can show you something really cool. Here we go. I am going to the Thunder Bay. I am going to Black Magic Raw, and here you see Black Magic Raw files, and right here, this is Black Magic Raw playing back. Watch what I can do. I can go into list mode, which by the way we have. I can go to size, and I could sort this by largest to smallest. So look at these file sizes: 28 gigabytes, 26 gigs, 22 gigs. These are actual BRAW files. Look at, you can tell it's 28 gigs. And how long is this file? It is only about 3.5 minutes long. So you can do the math, right? These are raw files, and I can just go through each one. Look at this, Wilfred. Look at how fast I'm switching through BRAW. And most importantly, look at the bandwidth draw. This is BRAW, and it's pulling 1 megabit per second. Do you get it? Do you see how crazy that is? Like, there is no other tech in the world that does that. There's a 28 gigabyte file. I am playing it back, and I can scrub around and look at the peak bandwidth change. It's going to 2 megabits per second. Is anyone seeing this? Like, this should be impossible. This should be impossible. Here, I'm scrubbing around a 26 gigabyte file that is a BRAW file. What's happening is Strada is able to leverage your computer hardware. Clouds can't do this. Clouds can't debayer. Clouds are storage volumes. If you wanted to debayer in a cloud, which virtually nobody does, you'd have to move that to a computer to process it. And then you'd have to go through a media pipeline or a media engine to process it. Strada is leveraging your computer, which processes all day long, right? And so we're taking the BRAW, we are doing a debayer, we are doing a decode, we are adding the LUT because this is a log file, and then we are encoding it to H.265 so that I can stream it. And now look how fast. If I go full screen, next take, next take, next take, next take, next take. This is BRAW, and it's as fast as it would be if it was in Resolve, but this is not local. I could literally play this back on an airplane. I'm not kidding. I could play this on an airplane. It's less than 1 megabit per second. You could play this anywhere, and BRAW is our first raw inclusion in the Strada pipeline. We already support ProRes, we already support AVC, we support XAVC, we support HEVC, VP9, AV1, 264, but we're adding in some raw codecs, and Blackmagic is our first one. So it's in beta right now, and if you want the beta, you can email us right now. You can email me, or you can email Pete, or you can write support@strada.tech, and we'll send you the beta, and you can start testing it. We have a few people using the beta and testing it out, but this is a color-corrected, debayered, decoded transfer of BRAW files anywhere in the world. Plus, I could even, look at this, if I sort by name, I could even go here, and these are Apple Vision Pro files. So these are actually the files that come from Apple Vision Pro cameras, which is a whole nother world of Blackmagic Raw, right? Because they're the super wide files. So you have both of those worlds. There's still some things coming out, like I see the thumbnails are not loading, stuff like that. But we're working on all that stuff. But that's in beta right now. So very exciting stuff. So hopefully, Wilfred, you give that a try. Axel, good to see you. Thanks so much for sharing that media when you were in Tel Aviv. That was amazing. I appreciate you testing that out. That was really cool. Axel says, can you guys have a hybrid of cloud space for notes and approval workflow? That way we can replace Frame.io for notes or Google Drive for delivery to clients and solidify on a single platform. Well, let me show you something here. We have a picture. I'm probably, Pete, I'm going to have to probably open that up here, but let's just go to this. I want to show you this, Axel, so everyone understands this story. This story is really what it's all about. We are building a platform. And so, Axel, the answer to your question is yes, absolutely, totally yes. Today, we have replaced WeTransfer. We have built a transfer service that does not require cloud, does not require uploading, does not require even downloading. So that's replacing WeTransfer. We've already done that. We are building feedback like Frame.io. Some people use Frame.io in two ways. They give comments and feedback. We are going to deliver that in the summer, but they also use Frame.io for review links. We're going to be delivering that in the spring. So review links are coming. And as I mentioned I can't remember who it was earlier, but as I mentioned to someone earlier, we are going to be delivering a new way to do a drop link, an upload link, which is going to be super awesome. We're going to show that next week. But Frame.io is great for review links and feedback. We're doing that. That's on its way. And you'll be able to give and receive feedback from the drive on your desk. So you won't need to actually do an upload and transfer. All that's gone. Then we've got remote editing, and I'm going to show you that next. Remote editing is in beta now. If you want to try it, it's available. So if you use products like LucidLink, or you can't use products like LucidLink because they're too expensive because of the cloud storage and the upload costs, we are replacing that. We have a superior solution that we call Strada Connect. I'll show you in a second. Then we'll move on to things like file syncing. People want to have multiple files, so I think we'll someday build a Strada sync so you could transfer everything on this drive and make a mirror of it somewhere else. So that's going to be something we'll do in the future. And then AI metadata. If you've been following us for a couple of years, we got really good at AI metadata, but the mistake we made is our AI enrichment was done in the cloud. You didn't like that. You said, put it on the drive. That's why we're here. But we will come back at the end of 2026 and start replacing AI metadata, except it'll be from footage on your drive using your computer to process it. So it will be super cheap, and it will be able to access files without uploading. So it's going to be way better. So Axel, this is the vision. We've already replaced WeTransfer. We've already replaced parts of Frame.io. We're about to replace parts of LucidLink. And the first three should see serious replacement throughout this summer. This year, we expect WeTransfer, Frame.io, LucidLink to all have major replacement options through Strada this summer. Then we'll move into file syncing and AI metadata. So very cool. Okay. So I do want to show virtual file editing. Virtual file editing is what we call Strada Connect. Strada Connect is a virtual file system, and it allows you to mount Strada as a drive. And there is a beta. It's available today if you want to try it. There are some limitations to the beta. It's not perfect. It's very new, but it's the first time anyone's had access to peer-to-peer remote editing. Peer-to-peer remote editing. Just the idea of saying peer-to-peer editing is brand new. Like, that's a crazy new way of working, because that's remote, peer-to-peer, no cloud, no transfer, no upload, no download. It's nuts. It's nuts. So we have started this out, and we actually just completed our first project. We did our first edit with Strada Connect, which allowed a remote editor to edit a film without having to transfer the media, without putting it in a cloud, and all the media was just sitting on a Thunder Bay drive, and just editing off a Thunder Bay drive, just Thunderbolt bus drive, just like this. And they did it thousands of miles away. And I'm so excited about that. In fact, we did a shoot, and there will be an episode on our YouTube channel chronicling how did this work? How did we do it? And I actually wanted to show you something. This is really cool. So the best way to demonstrate this is I wanted to get some slides to show you some background behind the scenes stuff of this production. And I was like, oh, Shannon, can you send me some pictures? She's like, yeah. And I was going to make slides. I was like, no, let me use this example to show you Strada Connect. I needed to make some slides for this live, but I didn't make them yet. I don't have the files. They're on Shannon's computer. Shannon's computer right now is driving this live Zoom. So she's probably not going to like this if it screws it up, but we're going to try it anyway. So look at this. I'm going to open up my Strada agent, and you see right here, there's a button that says Strada Connect. Strada Connect is in beta. Again, if you want this beta, email, put a comment, you want the beta, and my brother will start taking your email information. I'm going to select turn this on. When I turn it on, I agree that this is a beta, things can go wrong. And now watch what happens. In a few seconds, Strada mounts as a hard drive. This is now Strada in a drive form. And if I search like this and I go to Shannon, this is Shannon's messy desktop. And here we go. These are the folders or files she gave me. She pulled these files. I am reading these files off Shannon's MacBook Pro. This is Shannon's MacBook Pro driving this live event. I've got to the quick exports from a shoot. And if I grab this file right here and I bring it into Keynote, I am literally pulling this file from Shannon's computer into Keynote. If I need to make another slide, and I'll just like, watch this. I'm going to build some slides here. I'm going to be like, okay, I want this one here, and it'll pull it in. And then I'll go here and I'll grab this one and put it there. And I'll go here and I'll make this bigger, and I'll grab this photo here. And then I'll go here, and I can even preview these and be like, okay, what do they look like, right? Well, maybe I don't want that one. Let's see this one. There's a lot going on her machine right now. I don't like that one. Let's see this one. Here we go. These are getting bigger. Oh, that one's cool. That's Shannon on the scissor lift. So we'll drag that in. And so these files are able, in fact, I could even do this. I could look at these as thumbnails just like this, and I could be like, I really like, oh, this one's a good shot of the camera. So I can do that and drag that in just like that. And then I'll do one more, and let's see what else we haven't used. Oh, there's a good one of the camera. Okay, cool. So now we're seeing everything here, and there it is. And so there's our, oh, there's a DXL right there with Jacob. There we go. And then I'll do one more right here because I saw this one right here. So I am literally building slides, and these files are on Shannon's computer, and they're being pulled over. And you can see I'm literally doing this in real time. I know this is a little sloppy, but it gives you the idea that if I wanted access to something, Shannon granted me access to a file on her desktop or a folder on her desktop, and I was able to grab these files, and I can start making these slides live on YouTube. And there we go. So there's our shoot. There's some behind the scenes of our shoot where we shot on the new Fujifilm Eterna 55 camera. This camera is amazing. Like the Fujifilm Eterna 55, check it out. We shot with it. We made a short film. We chronicled it. It's very different. It looks different. It acts different. It's beautiful. It's so simple. And I think some people think the drawbacks, they've got it all inverted. The drawbacks are its advantages. Simplicity, small, and super large sensor. Like it's incredible. I'm going to do a story on it and show you how we used it. It also shoots 4K and 8K files and proxy files. And so the proxy files were able to deliver right to our editor. So our editor could grab files and start editing them instantly. It's so cool that you could just drag files and start editing them. So here, oh, and here's a cool thing. This is of the Fuji 55. That is the sensor. It is the largest cinema sensor on the market by area. It's basically the size of IMAX film. And so it gives you IMAX in a digital form factor, including the aspect ratio. It's incredible. And it's really creating these images that are very different. So we are super excited about this, and we wanted to put it to the test, not just the camera, but also the workflow. And that workflow resulted in us doing our first short film with remote editing, completely virtual. Davis Pictures, it's good to see you. Thanks so much for your feedback the other day. Will Strada Connect work with RAW or mirrorless file formats or just proxy files? Today, Strada Connect works with proxy files. So you have to have proxy files. So check this out. If I go to Premiere Pro, here's a project. I'm going to open up my bandwidth here. If I went to this computer here and I go to Thunder Bay and I go to this movie, let's see here. What am I looking for? Oh, it's not there. I have to do a thing. It's in beta. We all know what beta means. So I have to remount the Strada Connect to get what I'm looking for. I won't go into that because we're going to fix that problem. But once we fix it, it should be fine. So I'm going to go into the LA Max Studio, Thunder Bay. I'm going to look for Sovereign. I'm going to look at these HEVC dailies. So look, I've got these scenes here. You can see here all these scenes, right? I've got all these scenes broken down. Inside each folder are takes from the scene. So scene 5, obviously, I can see the slate says scene 5. If I go to scene 6, the slate says scene 6, right? So I'm going to grab all these scenes and I'm going to drag them into Premiere Pro, and it's going to look at these files, and it's not actually transferring these files. This isn't a process of actually importing. It's not making a transfer, because look at this is 27 gigs worth of proxy dailies. I'm not transferring 27 gigs worth of files. That would take way too long. This is just Premiere doing its initial index. It just looks at files and has to understand them and make a little database. And we're going to make this even faster, but this is only going to take a few seconds. This is probably 30 seconds of bringing in hours. I mean, I don't know how many hours of footage. We're going to find out in a second how many hours of footage this is. It's probably a lot. So I'm going to drag all these files into a timeline, and we can see it is 9 hours of footage. Does it start at 0? Yeah, 9 hours of footage. And that quickly, I have 9 hours of footage that I've just dragged in from a remote computer. And you can look at the bandwidth. It's only, right now I'm editing, and it's only, now it's down to 15 megabits. Now it's down to 2 megabits, 8 megabits. Half a meg, right? You can see it's settling. Part of the technology that we have patented, we have a patent pending, is on variable bitrate encoding in these streams. So we're able to adjust the bitrate based on your bandwidth. So when I scrub, it might give me more attack. It's going to show me more bandwidth is going to be consumed as I move this. But as soon as I stop and I hit play, it's going to settle down and only be like 1 meg. There it's at 16, now it's at 3, now it's at half, now it's at 9. So it's going to adjust. That's part of the beauty of this stuff. But look, I can go around. We just imported 9 hours of footage. And if I were just to click on this and make it full screen and hit play, I'm playing back these files remotely. And I imported 9 hours of footage. So Davis Pictures, this works with proxies today, right now. We will make this work with raw files eventually. I don't exactly have the timeline, but raw files and ProRes files and files that are too big for your internet will work with this technology. It'll probably be more in the summertime, but that's where we're headed with this technology. So it's awesome. We want to support every file format type. That's our goal. That's our goal. And it's just going to take some time to get there. Okay, Axel asks, what drives from OWC do you recommend for best performance in the 8 terabyte range? In that range, I like these Thunder Bays. This is a Thunder Bay. This is a 4-bay RAID. This is a Thunder Blade. This is faster drive performance if speed matters. This is going to be slower, but it's going to have higher capacity. You can get the Thunder Blades at high capacity. In fact, they make a 200 terabyte version of this in the same form factor. You can get 200 terabytes in this, but it's not cheap. But it's the fastest drive on the market. OWC makes a Thunder Blade that can do 6 gigabytes per second read write. 6 gigabytes at 200 terabytes of storage in this form factor. And it has no fan. There's no sound. It makes no sound. There's actually no fan. It's all just a big heat sink. So it's a really incredible piece of technology, but that's expensive. It's a different price point. This Thunder Bay, there's a 4 and there's an 8. I own both the 4 and the 8, and my 8 is 140 terabytes, and my 4, I think, is 60 something, 64 terabytes. So you can configure that however you want. So it's totally up to you how you want to do that. So I love both the Thunder Bay and the Thunder Blade for editing. These are NVMe drives, so they're high performance, high read-write speed drives. These are more standard drives, but you can mix and match. So it's up to you. Now, you ask another question really without even knowing it, which is, what do these things cost? Well, that really gets into the last subject I want to talk about, which is we are raising money. And we're raising money, but we are not just raising money. We have an opportunity for it to be really easy, and we give rewards for people that are investing in us. So we have a WeFunder account. You can go to wefunder.com/Strada and you can invest in Strada. You can read about our financials, our history, our pitch deck, our story, our vision, our roadmap, and you can see other investors that have invested. They put quotes in there. They've told you why they've invested, and we've raised a ton of money from you. In fact, if you look here, over 100 people have invested in Strada. And what's so cool is every level of investment is welcome. Some people give a little, some people give a lot. You can give as little as $100, but if you look at 500, you're able to get listed on our website as an investor, and we're proud to have you with us. But if you go to $1,000 investment, you automatically get a 1-year unlimited subscription of Strada. So if you're a user of Strada, you're going to pay a few $100s for a year of subscription. Well, if you invest $1,000, you get that year subscription for free, and you own a little bit of the company. What company out there is offering ownership? Nothing. You see, when a company grows and you're a user of it, you might get street cred and you might get some early adoption points, but what do you get after that? Nothing. There's no benefit. There's really no way to skip the line. You don't get a lot of benefits from being an early adopter, but at Strada, we think differently. At Strada, you're able to become an investor so that you can get way more than just street cred and the opportunity to be first or early. This is better than that because we're giving you a chance to help us grow this together. So a 1-year subscription for $1,000 is a great deal. But if you go even higher up, for the $5,000 investment, you get a Strada t-shirt and you get an OWC Envoy Ultra. The Envoy Ultra is an amazing drive. It is an amazing drive. It is the best drive, in my opinion, for on-set backups. It's dust-proof. It's waterproof. It's almost crush-proof. I think you could drive a car over it. You could drop this thing, and it's super high performance. And the cable is embedded in it, so you don't lose the cable, and the cable is sealed inside, so you're not worried about like dust or water or moisture getting in there. And it's an amazing drive. This is the best drive for field downloading, in my opinion. It's amazing. So you're going to get a 2 terabyte Thunderbolt Envoy Ultra. It's an amazing drive. Then for $10,000, you get to be in one of our episodes. We want to talk about you. We want to show your workflow. And then you get a one-time 20% discount. Sorry, that's kind of hard to read right there. There should be a space right there. There we go. You get a one-time 20% discount when you go to the OWC store. So up to $25,000. So Axel, if you are really inside of, if you're going to do a big investment in new drives, a $10,000 investment in Strada gets you a lot of Strada ownership, and you get a 20% discount on anything you buy from OWC. That's a pretty good deal. I know that's an investment in there, but if you believe in us, you're investing in you, not just us. For $25,000, you get a lifetime subscription. One of my friends just did that. She gets a lifetime subscription of Strada. She's inviting all of her collaborators, and they're running Strada every single day, doing several documentaries. It's amazing. And then you will get an OWC Thunderbolt 5 dock. I don't have one of those docks with me, but these docks are amazing. Maybe, Pete, you want to bring one in from one of the desks out there if you're listening. I could show the Thunderbolt 5 dock. But this is a really cool device when you're working on a desktop. And if you're working on a desktop and you need to plug in different drives and different SSD cards and CFast and SD and Thunderbolt drives and USB drives. Plus, you want HDMI and you got a laptop. You want all those things. The Thunderbolt 5 dock is amazing. It's a great device. It's really powerful and it's really sturdy. It's something built really sturdy. Cool, Pete. Thank you. So this is it. This is the Thunderbolt 5 dock. It's amazing because you can run everything into this. In the front, you've got ports to go in, but in the back, you have your Thunderbolt, but you also have a 10 gig Ethernet port, and you get HDMI and monitor. So this becomes, it takes your laptop and turns it into a full supercomputer of variables, and it's really, really powerful. So you get this for the $25,000 subscription. And up to 50, you get a lifetime enterprise subscription of Strada for 15, for life. For life. Like, think about that. I mean, for $50,000, if you're a big customer and you have a big Frame.io account or a big LucidLink account, $50,000 over multiple years of doing that, you're paying a lot. We are going to give you that exact same deal for life, and you get $50,000 worth of ownership in Strada, which is an amazing deal. And so it's like basically unlimited use for 15 people. It's an amazing deal. So these are all things that are available. So the OWC stuff are great gifts to include in that, but mostly it's about improving your workflow. You're seeing our roadmap. You're seeing the technology. I mean, like, no one watching this should be able to see any tech like this in the world. These files playing back right here in my timeline are not on my computer, and they are not in a cloud, and they're playing back over just a couple megabits. It's incredible what the tech we're doing. So this is in beta, and you can test it. So if you're not really sure, sign up, join the beta, test it, because if you help us make this successful, Strada is going to become huge. I had someone tell me yesterday or 2 days ago, you are going to become the foundation of every single video workflow. That's what we're building. We're not here to compete with these other companies that you know and love. We are going to rewrite the rules on how video collaboration workflow is done for everybody. And that's for cinema, and it's for red carpet, it's for sports, it's for churches and schools and industrials and brands and Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and everything in between, because collaboration is necessary. The world needs more creation. There's going to be more videos created. There's going to be more people traveling and living far apart. And nobody wants to upload everything to the cloud. No one wants to keep paying the cloud. And no one wants to get stuck having to figure out, what did I forget to upload? What does the editor not have? What do I need right now? I want you to have everything on your phone. And Strada is the only way to do that without having to pay cloud companies tens of thousands of dollars a month. And some people are doing that. Some people are paying millions of dollars a year for cloud storage at these big companies, and it all is too expensive. And so it's really awesome that we have found a technology opportunity that nobody else has identified. And that's why you should join us to be first to make it real for everybody. Okay. We want to hear from you. We have a Discord channel. Pete will put a link in the chat. You should join the Discord, and you should do that. Rodman on Instagram says, what about working with jellyfish? Absolutely. I don't know if Sed is online, Pete. He may not be. There he is. Oh, that's the hub. That's Facilis. That's a different one. I thought, I could be wrong. There was a jellyfish user on here. But I don't actually have a jellyfish, and we had a jellyfish user, but I'm not seeing him online right now. So he may not be online. Hey, there's Axel's computer. So Axel was on today, but his drive's offline. But you can see, Axel, I can see that your computer's online, but your drives are offline. So that's kind of cool, is I'm able to recognize that stuff. So anyway, OWC Jellyfish, they absolutely work with this. And we're trying to get jellyfish so that we could show it to you and hope to be able to do that. So those are great products that we'd love to show. Rogue Village says, maybe my new favorite Michael quote. What the tech are you doing? Hey, that's pretty good. Did I say that? What the tech are you doing? That's pretty cool. And then Rodman says, how does Strada connect sync back to the full res for color and VFX? Well, there's more coming in that space. So I think, Rodman, that's where we're going to start showing you full workflow round trips here. And there's a lot of cool stuff we're going to give you to unlock full round trip conform, low res, high res, It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And in some cases, you might not even have to relink. It's really crazy. Our vision for this is awesome. So we're going to solve all those problems, and we're excited to have you on the journey. So make sure you join the Discord. And then if you want a demonstration, if you want to learn how this works, if you want us to onboard you, take you through it, Pete and I sit with teams every day, and we take you through the process, and we teach you how it works. We get you going, and we are happy to take you through that. So schedule a one-on-one demo. My calendar is public. You can reach out and you can sign up, and we'll take you through the process and get you going and answer your questions. So with that, I want to say thank you for a successful return to Strada Live. We are so excited to have everybody here. Tell your friends about investing. Try the product, sign up. It's free, and learn how you can start working it into your workflows. If you're interested in the Strada Connect beta, get on that beta. If you want to try the Blackmagic Raw beta, get on the beta. And stay tuned next week for an amazing, we are going to show a technology that absolutely is brand new. No one has ever done what we're about to show next week. So that's awesome. And then lastly, don't forget about License Manager. You can now buy licenses on behalf of your clients and your customers and your colleagues. And so you should be able to sign up for that and get them going. And if you have any issues or questions, let us know. We are so happy that you're a part of this journey. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you on